Arsenal would be better getting Martinez from Milan.
Don't you wash your mouth? Wash your screen. Wash your laptop. Wash your how. Oh, please don't ever say such nonsense again, please. Someone that just collected 5 in the Champions League final, please.
You know that David Brent scene in The Office where he goes, "Women are dirty," right? And he gets forced into saying it. That the way he said dirty, that's in my mind right now. Shane Moore is dirty. That is just dirty to say that. Do you know how slow that man is? Do you know how his lack of athleticism he'd be gobbled up in the Premier League, bruv? He'd be gobbled up in the Premier. Look at what happened to him when he played PSG. And PSG have power, speed, but supreme technical ability. So many Premier League teams have got pace and power in them now. Lautaro Martinez would get eaten alive over here.
Could you imagine the first Lautaro Martinez, James Tarkowski duel?
Oh, stop. He's out for the season, bro.
Finished, bruv. Havertz and Jesus are they on 500k a week combined?
Holy crap.
Well, yeah, Havertz on like 275, isn't he?
That probably makes sense. That makes sense. That makes sense.
Yes, they are. Please.
Why would you sell them? Why would you sell someone?
I think there's a slightly bigger issue with shifting Jesus.
We can move. I don't think that was one of the topic points for today, so we can move on. It's fine.
Have you seen the new topic point though, Kunle? You want a new backup keeper?
Yeah, Kepa.
Hey, we just had who was our keeper Neto this year? Like backup keepers don't move me.
Yeah, but
not many keepers get injured.
By the way, there is some breaking news that's just come out now. It's just been DM'd to me about Arsenal. Actually, let me just read this out to you now, guys.
If it's not good, please don't read it. I beg.
Look at Kunle's face, everyone. See, we'll do. Let's see if Kunle smiles. Right. So this is what it says. It says Arsenal have made Rodrygo their number 1 winger target.
Yeah, that's what we need. If you want, sign Sesko. We don't care.
Arsenal's recruitment team are in unanimous agreement, whilst several key figures at the club, including first-team players, have spoken to Rodrygo about the move. The report goes on to say that Arsenal will present a strong financial offer to Rodrygo should Rodrygo become available, and they are willing to compete with any club for his signing. Real Madrid are adamant they do not want to sell the player unless he asks for a move personally. But it does appear, and what I would say is this: it's not Arsenal, Kate. It's not grifting for Arsenal. What I'm about to say, okay?
I can take it from you, Terry. You're not a Tottenham fan.
Okay. When it comes to transfers, I always think when a club have been linked for as long as Arsenal now have been, and they are going to make these offers, and they are trying, I always think that means there's a possibility. Does that make sense? I always think there's the possibility, although publicly he's like, I don't want to leave, and the Madridsters are saying no, the manager wants him. This story isn't going away, so there's a chance. Thoughts on that, Kunle, that he's your number one. We know that you're linked to Sane. Sane is a deal that you are looking at. Something that Bell has confirmed that, but Rodrygo isn't off the. Is that why? Look, your fans get annoyed you haven't bought anybody yet. But is it worthwhile not signing Sane yet? Is it worthwhile not triggering the release clause for Williams yet? Because you're pursuing Rodrygo. Is it better to try and get Rodrygo for another 3, 4, 5 weeks before signing a left winger, or just buy what's available now? What would you prefer?
Get me Rodrygo. I don't care about anything that you said, just as long as Rodrygo comes. Bro. All that stuff. As long as we get Rodrygo at the Emirates, that's all that matters. Even if you sign me Ollie Watkins as my number 9, I'll deal with it. I'll actually deal with it. I wouldn't want it, but I'll deal with it. But
Hold on.
Rodrygo.
How are you making out that signing someone who can get like 20 Premier League goals is a hardship up front? If you've got to get me Ollie Watkins, a guy who's fired Villa to European football last 3 times,
no top team want him right now. Really.
The only way you're getting Rodrygo is when Real Madrid come to visit at the Emirates. Not a chance.
But wait, why don't you think he would?
Because
should I create the scenario, Kate? Let me set the scene.
Go on.
So obviously, Mbappe's there, Vinny's there, and they're kind of the main guys. And if anyone's gonna, let's say Vinny gets injured, Mbappe probably goes out on the left. If both of them get injured, they're like, "Oh wow, we remember you, Rodrygo. You know the guy that saved us from Manchester City in the last 5 minutes. We remember you." That's when they remember a man like Rodrygo, someone that's got them a couple of Champions League, La Liga titles. He doesn't feel valued there. He's won everything at the club he wanted to play for as a boy. He's won everything there. So he's got a chance to go to a new league, the best and most watched league in the world to play in his actual position and wins. If he wins a league at Arsenal, he's immediately a legend there because of how much we're starving. So
2 reasons.
it makes sense. And he live in London as well. You know, Brazilians, they like good
2
life,
reasons
living
it
in
won't
London.
come to you, because if he does become available, City and Liverpool will go in for him, and they've got more pull than you have. And second of all, he's not going to come to Arsenal because it basically means he's giving up trophies, so he won't do it.
Kate. Do you know what? I'm going to let you have that one this year. I'm going to let you have that. I'm like, because
If
you're not
he
going to
wants
get to
go
say that to
London
me
win
often.
trophies, maybe he
I'm
should
going
go
to let you
Tottenham.
have that one, Kate.
Oh.
Enjoy it. 17 years to do it, so I'm not going to retaliate, even though I badly want to. But that being said, there's a very big chance that he can come to Arsenal. I'm not going to lie to you. There
No.
is. And I can't wait to come on the stream and we announce it together, Kate.
Do you know what?
Hopefully I'm in London at the time when it gets announced.
That is never going to happen.
God, please, do the needful.
You're more likely to get Kepa than you are to get Rodrygo.
Oh mate, if I see Arsenal with Kepa next year, oh my god.
Nobody thought we were going to get Ozil when we got him, so here we go. And it was a similar scenario where he felt unwanted at Madrid. Rodrygo feeling unwanted at Madrid.
Yeah, but
You
it's
never
a
know.
new
Living in
manager now, isn't
London versus living in Manchester and Liverpool. I know which one I'd.
It's not living in London like Mayfair. It's living in North London, which if you've been there,
Why is it? No, he doesn't have to live in North London. He doesn't have to live in North London. He can live anywhere in London.
Yeah,
Bro.
but none of the Liverpool players live in Liverpool. They all live in
Exactly.
Cheshire.
Live in the posh part.
How is it? Yeah, what's the
no,
weather like there?
About the
Rains
same
a
as
lot.
it is everywhere else in the fucking UK shit.
Rains a lot. It doesn't rain as much in London as it does in Manchester or Liverpool. Mate.
No, it's raining today, Kudley, to be fair.
Really?
Yeah.
Let me live, man. It's not the end of the window yet. Let me live, man. For fuck's sake, man. Rodrygo's coming. Rally the truth. Yeah, until he doesn't, I might as well hang on to it, or I'll be depressed to a window. Because Arsenal fans are the easiest fans to manipulate during the transfer window. So I don't believe 99% of the stories that are out there because they're more triggering than anything. I just say let's wait, let's see what happens. People want us fans to be more frustrated than we are. I'm not scared about the Zubimendi thing. I think we're done. I think it's done, to be honest. Personally, I'm not nervous. Yeah. I will announce it too. But there's nothing to be nervous about. The window's literally just opened, and everyone's like, "Oh, Arsenal, you should be embarrassed." I'm not worried.
Well, we haven't been linked to anyone, so it could be worse because we've not been linked to anybody at all.
You lot are still getting drunk, man. Enjoy yourself, man. Enjoy yourself.
I think Tottenham's going to get either Tyler Diblin. I think I heard a report yesterday. Might be Wake, but I think Diblin's the more.
I reckon they get Eze. I reckon Spurs get Eze.
I think they get Grealish and Diblin probably.
Grealish is a very Tottenham move.
Wait,
Grealish and Sane on the wings.
Grealish? How much does he cost now? Do you think?
Cost or probably about 35 million. 35 million. Probably now.
Yeah,
I'll be honest. I think City just want to shift him.
Okay,
I don't even think he's going to go to that Club World Cup. I think they just want to get rid of him. So let's get him for like 25. It's just
they've already told him he's not going, as far as I'm aware.
Yeah, he's not going.
Wait, has anyone done a stream on how people qualify for this Club World Cup? By the way, I still don't
qualify
really
for the Club World Cup if you want. It's like the 17 different things you could have done to qualify for it. Basically, Chelsea are in it because they won the Champions League 4 years ago.
So why are Juventus in it? I saw Juventus are in it as well.
Juventus, I don't even know the exact reason why Juventus are in it, but I assume it's to do with like their coefficients by their country at the time that the draw was done meant they were the highest.
Yeah, because last year the Italians were the ones that got the 5 places, weren't they? I think Italy was the team that was top of that. So by that lot, it's mad how it's happened. But it's one of them weird competitions. I'm covering it. I'm looking at it. You never know if it's gonna take off or not. But it's weird, isn't it? Because I listened to the Portugal fans last night. Did you watch Portugal Germany last night, guys? Did you watch that game? Really good game. When the goals were going in, you could tell the crowd were proper up for it and they were on it. Yeah, I always feel like the Nations League in England is treated just like meh, no one gives a damn. But again, in Europe, they take that shit seriously. So we'll see. Although I was talking to Goldbridge today, and he said that he's been out in America and he was meeting different people in the sports industry, and they were just like, the World Club Cup's out there, and no one gives a fuck. No one. It's like, man, we don't care. It's basically they were saying to him, we like the Prem, and they look at football like it's a sideshow. It's just like no, they look at it like, you know how we all watch KSI fighting Mike Tyson or Jake Paul. That's the kind of their view of like football. It's just like, oh, that's fun, but not serious.
Is it
Does
still
make
that?
sense?
Is it still that? Even with
Well,
all
that-
the changes, and still
That
that?
was I'm not talking for the everyday person who watches it. But having said that, I remember Jess was at like an event out there hosting for the Premier League, and I watched some of the footage, and there was like a guy there with a Wolverhampton Wanderers shirt on, a Leicester jacket, and a Nottingham Forest hat. So yeah, I don't think they take it seriously. And that was Hamza. No, it wasn't really Hamza. But you get what I'm saying, like, it's one of them ones. I don't think they take it that seriously, like by and large. There'll be a good percentage of people that do, but the vast majority, it's like, oh, suckers on. Let's go have a, like we treat WWE. We know it ain't real. You just get involved. But yeah, I think it's one of them.
So,
Lots.
so basically, the
go on.
Club World Cup was done by a UEFA 4-year ranking outside the Champions League winners, except they could only have 2 teams from each country unless there was more teams from the country that had won the Champions League. Therefore, that's why likes of Salisbury, Porto, and Benfica are in it. And then they've done a same one for South America, except for Inter Miami, who they just let in because Lionel Messi's there. And they wanted Lionel Messi at the tournament.
Sounds legit.
Yeah.
So it's a really, well organized, well structured, prestigious tournament. Which just if you've got a really good player and you didn't qualify, we might just let you in anyway. They tried to find a way to get Ronaldo in as well, but they couldn't.
Are they stopping now the tournament you go into if you win the Champions League? Is that now stopping because of this?
That's now this. So
Okay.
if you win the Champions League in the next 4 years,
So
you then go into the 2029 edition of this one. And
We're
you get,
all
the
gonna
badge
watch
that you get on your
World Cup,
chest.
guys.
You
Let's
get
not
that
lie
badge
to
for
ourselves.
4 years now.
The one thing I'd say will incentivize teams is you get 50 million quid for being in it, and I think you get up to 100 million if you win the thing. That will incentivize clubs at the end of the day. That is an incentive to win it because that's a huge amount of money, and I think it's going to have a lot of PR behind it.
Total prize.
And we're all gonna watch it as much as we chat shit now.
I'm watching it. I'm doing.
Yeah.
I think I'm doing watch-alongs on That's Football, and we're doing some big match reactions on the terrace. I'm not. I was like that with the Super League. Day one, I was like, this is bullshit. And then I remember sitting there the next day. I was working with Joel Bayer, and he's like, you lot are going to do content on it, though, aren't you? And I was like, you're so right. I've got to stop slagging it off because there I will be. Welcome to the football terrace. Man United 3, Juve 1 in the Super League. I'd have been covering it, and it's like a lot of things, isn't it? Like I noticed this week. I went and checked out because I bookmarked a lot of people that were like very aggressively against the cuts at Man United fans. This is. Saw them this week, went to their Twitter accounts. Bring me Cunha, buzzing. Mbomo, hold that, everybody. Not one tweet about people losing their jobs to pay for it. Not because they should, but a few weeks ago, you were so vehemently against. I've got a problem with virtue signalers. People that will say they're against something because it's fashionable to, but then in reality, when they're tasting the sweet, succulent fruits that come from that immoral act, they're loving it. It's a bit like when owners. That's why I'm not against any owner from any part of the world theoretically owning a club. Because in reality, I think we would all do the same thing we saw Newcastle fans do. Condemn it for 20 years, and then when you get it, you celebrate and party. It's one of them ones for me. I just don't do the virtue signaling bollocks. There.